On this wicked October evening in 1913, Master Nathaniel Gaumont has been away for a period of 3 days, tending to his aged dying father's business affairs in the great city of Harborview, far from the rural area outside the city, a section known as Halfway There, in which his family settled many years before. Months have passed since the Reverend Gaumont suffered a massive stroke, with Nathaniel being granted power of attorney and control of his father's vast holdings. While the Reverend would have opposed any sale of his land, Nathaniel reasons that his father will soon be deceased with little say in the matter. However, Nathaniel is, as he arrives home to Halfway There, completely unaware of what lies in store for him. Annex, the continuing story of a peculiar bend in the avenue. Traffic goes north, traffic goes south. The streetcar runs between. And all we can do is try to keep up.
Welcome home, Mr. Gaumont. Hand me those reins and step on down, if you will.
Good day, Subansky. You look grave in the face of my high spirits. Has father taken a turn?
I'm afraid so, if you don't mind my saying it, sir. The last 2 nights, the Reverend, he's been talking to your ma.
Very well. I'll ask you to look after the horses and my things. I want to see father right away. Father, it's Nathaniel. I'm so sorry that it had to end like this, but we'll be at peace. And I shan't be alone here. You see, I've sold most of the South Tract to a good friend, Henry Pembroke. He and his wife, they're going to grow lilacs there. Father? Father? Are you all right?
You sold my South Tract to lilac farmers?
Nathaniel Gaumont is about to learn an important lesson. When it comes to his father, the Reverend Gaumont, death is relative. He failed to reckon with his father's intense connection to Halfway There, an intensity that has pulled the Reverend back from death's doorway, rallying to curse his own son for swindling him through the sale of the South Tract. Will Nathaniel be able to face the old man's bitter remonstrations?
You sold my South Tract to lilac farmers?
Calm yourself. Don't try to speak. Not right now. I'll get the doctor. You appear to be having another attack. Lie still, I beg of you. Subansky, come. I need you.
My own son. You did this to me while I lay in this bed, shuffling off into the sweet hereafter. You perhaps thought that you'd execute this fine dodge of yours and come back to find me ready for the grave.
That's preposterous.
Should know better than that, son. After all, I've cheated death before.
The shipwreck.
To spread the gospel down to the equatorial country. To preach and teach, of course. My wife and son had to remain behind, as the boy was, even then, infirm and ailing from some plague or another. Years of working my way home, an odyssey through jungle and desert and howling forest.
Welcome back to Halfway There, Reverend. You have been delivered to us through God's grace.
My wife?
You see, Reverend, your disappearance for all these years was very trying for Mrs. Gaumont, and she...
My wife. Murdered, and a year's time in her grave, and my son at some fancy school.
It bears some mention that you did, in fact, return a very rich man through some rather vile means, and have only continued to prosper through ever more vile means right down there in Harborview. Had Mother been alive when you returned and stopped preaching and became a man of the world, that's what would have killed her stone dead. Subansky! Mina! Oh, where are they?
Old Sabansky's probably off behind one of the barns with a bottle, where I'd sent him with my blessing. Mina's at market, leaving me with you, my son, Nathaniel Gaumont, traitor to fathers lost at sea, murderer of mothers.
I did not murder my mother.
I'm very sorry to inform you, young Master Gaumont, that your mother is deceased. There will be no funeral.
You waited too long to return home, Reverend. Your homecoming found you a man of means with a wife dead from grief over a living man.
She needed a man to run the house with me away, and you were not equal to that task. You killed my wife, and now you've cheated me. Perhaps you'll try to put me underground tonight, dead or not, just to cover your many misdeeds against those who brought you into this world. That's our gratitude, I suppose.
Ludicrous talk.
Or perhaps you'll call upon this good friend of yours, whom I've never heard you make mention of before, and tell him that there has been a mistake, and the land belongs to your father, the Reverend Gaumont, and he will not part with any piece of it, now or ever, living or dead. You tell him that.
Father, I will not void the transaction. It has been completed and registered as a legal sale. Having made a deal with Pembroke, I have no intention of breaking my word based on deathbed tantrums.
Do you imagine that allowing the Pembrokes to sharecrop in the near distance will somehow make up for your own considerable failure to acquire a wife of your own? May I remind you that you reside under my roof, and have ever since I brought you back here, because I thought you might assist in running my operations. A man grows older and yearns to pass something down.
And what think you now, old man?
What I wanted was an heir, and what I see before me now is a sloppy, overgrown errand boy. You can hardly live through your hero Pembroke, you know.
Henry Pembroke is a friend, Father, and I don't seek to live through him or his family. He has a mind for business and has been growing lilacs and all kinds of things for years. All the man wants is to get his family out of the city and to make a new life, running the Lilac Sanctuary, which will prove a lovely neighbor, if you'll only give it a chance.
Rats and roaches. The only thing that I'll ever give you, boy, that'll be rats and roaches.
Let's have no more of this. I'm stepping outside. I'm going to find Subansky and have him ride for the doctor at once.
Mark this day, my son, and mark my words. I'll take my revenge, and I'll reclaim my ground from your good friend Pembroke by any means necessary, fair or foul.
Next time on Annex, we'll meet the Pembrokes as months later they have breakfast in their new home on Delaney Road, for the moment unaware of the wrath of the formidable Reverend Gaumont, intent on regaining his land.